I've never seen Robbie so angry.
As we say in Jamaica, betty and us not.
I don't want to wind the situation up by talking even more. And I don't want you winding him up when he gets there.
It's cold, it's wet.
AFTV not on our way to Leicester.
Hi, and welcome along to the weekend roundup. Make sure you check that out. If you're a member, if you're not a member, you're not going to be able to check it out. So become a member right now. Our behind the scenes trip to Leicester, it was absolutely brilliant, right? I'll tell you, you will see me absolutely losing it. Not because of the game, not because of the result, because of a certain Julian, right? So make sure you watch that if you can. It's hilarious. But we are joined here today by our esteemed panel. Where do we start? Matisse is in the building. Cheer up, man. We'll get to the seagulls and why there's loads of seagulls on the table later on. Of course, top of the league. Doyle's back in the building.
Nice, how we doing, man?
And obviously, we've got no AGT. Just before we move on to the next person, we've got to say congratulations to him. He got engaged.
Well done, lads. Scored a screamer there,
How did that happen?
Screamer, lads, well
And
done.
I saw your comment thing. You was like, yeah, two nice people. I thought there's one now.
You got to be nice.
I don't know about it.
Yeah,
Shout out Tegan.
It's not too late. It's not too late to change your mind.
We were driving up in the car, right, to Leicester, right, and one of the guys looked on their phone and said, AGT's got getting engaged to his girl. And we were all going, she said no, Ellen. Right, she said no.
Nah, big him up, man.
And then he started singing the other part, you're right. No, we did it, right? Big him up, man. Congratulations.
All love, bro.
Abby Summers is in the building. Winner!
Only winners round here.
W's, man.
Yes.
W's, but somebody who held a big L is also here to take his punishment.
One big one.
It was a big
It's a
one.
normal.
It was a big one.
Hold.
Not big. It's 1-0. Small deficit.
Hold.
Big up for Flex in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we will.
Where do we start? Shall we may as well start with the game that took place yesterday. It was labelled the Muddy Derby.
The disappointment derby, that's what it was.
Told you I felt sorry for you. Like that was your Super Sunday.
It was crap.
El Muddico. It was not the greatest game. I mean, Jeremy says...
We won't be watching it back, that's for sure.
Yeah, there was Jeremy here with the Superchats. Watching Spurs and Man United play is like watching someone who doesn't understand how to pull doors. Right? It works anyway. Sad. But listen, at the end of the day, whatever you made of the game, how bad a game it was on that, it was a massive win for Tottenham. And James Maddison, the man who was getting dissed by Roy Keane, Manchester United legend, run up to the
Him
camera.
with a tap-in from 2 yards.
You know, how ironic. And it was a massive win for Spurs. And another defeat. I mean, are you getting a little bit worried about Ruben Amorim? I mean, what's that? 8 losses. Was it 8 losses, 4 draws, 4?
Catching up to us.
I mean, there's been absolutely... I mean, this has got to be the worst manager bounce of all time. He's doing worse than the previous guys.
It's not a bounce.
Let's get into it. Let's start with you, Abby. You won. What did you make of it?
It was terrible. I wouldn't say it's a classic by any stretch. But that was 105 days since Spurs won at home in the league. Wow. 105 days. Obviously, we won in the Europa League and like cups and whatever.
But in the Premier League.
105
November.
days.
Have you been doing a tally in your room?
November.
Like one of them little tallies when you're
What,
in jail?
like last time you won a Premier League home game?
In November. That's mad.
November. I think it was might have been November the 7th.
Manchester.
105 days. Like,
That's a lot. That is.
do you know, like, so look, I understand. I can't really be that buzzing. I said it yesterday when I did my review after the game for DR. Like, I can't be that buzzing by it because obviously the performance was shit. But we won the game. We won a game in the league. We're up to 12th. We're finally out of the 20s. I've been on in the 20s of the points for months. I think maybe even going back to like October, we've been in the trenches. Like 30. We've hit a 3. Huge. We're 8 points off of. We're 9 points off of 8. Eighth place finish is achievable. I would say we're safe. We could maybe have a top 10 finish. Things are starting to look up. James Maddison comes back, had a really good performance. Yeah, it's a tap in, but a goal's a goal at the end of the day. You know, after Roy Keane called him out. There he was. It couldn't have been more poetic, could it? Like the way he's just shushing and yappa, shut it, Shanice.
Rattled, isn't it?
Yeah, he's throwing the darts.
It got to him.
It got to him. And do you know what? Fine. I agree, you know, with certain aspects, he hasn't always been able to step up, but at least you're back now, then prove a point. If that's what it's got to take to get a rocket up your arse, then go for it. I want to see that.
You've been very critical of James Maddison.
I have been critical of James Maddison. So have that rocket, fly off into the sunset with it. I thought Bergvall had a good game. Jed Spence, lock off, man. Easy.
In the preview, what was that? I was literally saying, because in the periods, they've got that. They've got the fullbacks who can just go, and that's it.
Jed Spence
he's
he's undroppable.
It's really criminal from Ange. Ange's only stumbled on him because of injuries. He hasn't been playing this guy.
Same with Conte. It was the same with Conte. I think there was an attitude issue going on, but he's here. I don't think that Destiny walks back into the team. Bear in mind, Jed Spence is playing left back, not right back, which is not even his position. So Porro's, has played every game. He looks tired. I don't think Porro is dead certain. In terms of defensively, Jed Spence is better defensively anyway and can go forward. Sees them more balanced out of the two. So much more solid. I think I like the idea of having Destiny and Jed in his actual position, and then obviously if we can have Romero and Mickey van der Ven fit, then that's great. I actually thought Danso had a good game.
He did.
I haven't really seen him do too much wrong since he's come in. I think they took him off again, being precautionary. I think he had a little bit left on him after a challenge, and they'll take him off. Archie Gray, bless his soul, had a good afternoon off for the most part, had a good rest, and then still came on. Thought, is he going in midfield? No, he's going at centre back. So at some point I will see him in midfield. Tell missed so many chances. The final third yesterday was so poor. But at the end of the day, like, all I cared about was just trying to get a win of some kind. So they did that. Really low quality from both teams. And I'm just happy that we're starting to get some players back. So getting up to 12th, it's going in the right direction.
Look at the happiness on that face.
No, there's a lot of positivity there, which...
It's so sad. Like, I've just got to take like the tiniest little moments. But obviously, like, it was a big win yesterday, considering where we've been. I mean, if you haven't won at home in the league since like November, I mean,
there's big protests for the game.
Yeah, there was a big protest. Change for Spurs. They are driving that.
That wasn't a little protest. That was a big protest from what I saw.
Because look, there's obviously been pockets of the Enoch out, Levy out brigade, which I'm obviously a founding member of for a long time. But it's taken a while for people to, I guess, see the bigger picture, because we can all, like I always say, commend him for what he's done in terms of where he's brought Spurs from. They were worth 80 million when he took over 24 years ago, and now they're worth 2 billion, nearly 3 billion. So I will always commend him from the business aspect, but it's just fans just want you to have the same ambition on the pitch, with the type of signings you make, with just not cutting corners with everything. So that is the message we're trying to send. If you're not going to do that, then please please then just walk away from the club before it becomes a United situation. I don't want that. Like, I don't want it to be a case where you've then got a Glazer situation or an Ineos situation, and like, you can have all the best infrastructure in the world, but, and Pochettino famously said it, 6 years ago, you can have a beautiful house, but if the inside of your house looks crap, then what's the point of having a beautiful house? You've got to take care of it, and also put the football back in THFC. It's not just about Tottenham Hotspur as a consortium, as a stadium, as a business. There is a football club. This is what it is at its very core.
That's done, isn't it? Like, the infrastructure and sustainability of you.
It's done.
The wages compared to how much you net, but all of that.
It's time to start acting like a big boy club. Like, if you want to have the infrastructure and do that, you've got everything off the pitch to do that. But start acting like it from a board level down. Set the tone. Create the culture of winning. Create the culture of, actually, I'm not going to cut corners. We're going to match the wages. We've got the lowest wages. Like, start paying it. You've got the money to do it. You're turning over so much profit, and our chairman is taking home 6 mil in a bonus every year, and you're charging the second highest season ticket prices in Europe for what? So I'm all about the protest. Big up Change for Spurs, because they're really, really driving it, and there was a really big turnout. The voice is being heard. There's a lot of media attention around it now, which there hasn't been in the past, and it's that is going in the right direction. I don't think he'll ever go. I think that if the right offer did come in, which is greedy enough, then they would sell the club, because I know there's been offers for the club over the past couple of years, but they've just been too greedy with it. But if you're not gonna take this club to the next level, then you need to pass it over to someone that can now.
Ain't Joe Lewis like 90? He's old.
Yeah, but then it will just fall to his family. Like, if you and your lot can't do this, like Joe Lewis could have invested in this club the same way that Roman Abramovich did. He's just as rich as Roman Abramovich was. He just don't care. He don't have that. As long as he's turning a profit and his business is businessing, he couldn't care less. But that's what we're saying as fans. We love this club. This is our club. It's a religion. Like,
even
love your
Levy's
club like
family
that.
Is that, innit? They're all Spurs fans. They all work.
Yeah, but he's a businessman, and a businessman shouldn't be involved in the inner workings of a club. Like he's such a control freak that he's involved. Whether when they were picking the stadium, he's got in every detail. Whether the walls are this shade of white or whatever, there's too much power in one person. You need if you're a proper businessman, then you know how to delegate. You stick to the business side of things. What are you getting involved in transfers for? What are you doing this part? Why do you care what colour the walls are, what shade of white or eggshell it is? That's not your business. That's not your business. You need to employ people to do that. And that was the point of having the director of football and having Johan Lange there and whatever. Trust other people to do their jobs and you do yours. You look over the business side, you grow it. No, cool. Stay in the background, do that.
Done a good job of that.
Done a great job at that. But it's where he then puts his finger in too many pies, that's the problem. And as fans, we have every right to want the best for our club moving forward and have that same ambition matched in terms of balancing the books on the pitch and having that same success. So I'm all for it. Big up change for Spurs.
Moving in the right
Moving
direction.
up the table.
Moving in the wrong
Dunks on your head
direction.
tops again.
Moving in the wrong direction.
I wouldn't call it a dunk, I call it a
Imagine
layup.
conceding 8 goals to Spurs this season.
Yeah,
That's wild.
Well, 3 games you've beaten them in. I mean, moving in the wrong direction.
One of them
is,
didn't matter. Didn't go on to win the trophy.
Doesn't matter.
So it's null and
Manchester
void.
United.
They beat you twice.
Null and void.
You've actually Manchester United have never
Dempsey
beaten
just pick it all the
Ange.
time, don't
Void.
they?
How do you feel that? How do you feel about that? United have never beaten Ange.
It's just a bit annoying.
How shit must you be?
Yeah.
My manager that.
Just
Mad.
Running up the
so
M1.
Now you see, and this is where you
When have
start
I
to
ever
go wrong.
when have I ever said I'm not Ange
This
in?
is where you start.
I
to
am part of the
go
Ange
wrong. Who's your next game
Postecoglou.
against?
Ipswich.
Where? Actually, it doesn't matter. They beat
Yeah,
you.
it doesn't.
Actually, they beat you already. So
You got to go Ipswich soon as well.
No, they're coming to us.
Oh,
But anyway,
does it?
Flex, talk to us, man. That performance yesterday.
The
weren't
performance
good
actually weren't the performance actually
Well,
considering.
you had chances.
To be fair, in the stead of the game, when Abby's saying it weren't a great game, both teams played their part in that fairly equally.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Spurs mashed us up. I wouldn't say they,
get mashed
do you know what I mean? It wasn't really that type of game. The first sort of 15 minutes, Spurs had the ball, just come to us. Are we going to get a touch? But then we had the first 2 shots on target, just like that. Bang, Bruno. Garnacho had one. And,
Can't believe we missed that.
that was after, but the
Unbelievable.
first shot on target,
Yeah.
Vicario save, and then even Hoyland had a shot. Oh my God. He's cut in, he's little change of pace, cut in. I'm going to tell you what. And the goal that we concede, it's just
defender's
awful.
static.
Like, the defenders are static. Onana just pushes it into that same place. It's a carbon copy of the Solanke goal in the Carabao Cup, which Bayern pushed out to just nobody. And even the cross coming in, it hit off someone's heel. I think it hit off Casemiro's heel, then went to Bergvall. Like, it's just an awful goal to concede. Not much quality about it. Quite calamitous. And it's fitting that game was that goal was the winning game. And then actually, second half, I thought we came out, and I'm thinking there's a reaction here. Spurs fans are getting a bit annoyed. They can't get out. Vicario's making saves. I'm going, great. I think we're going to score here. And then, to be fair to Spurs, because you've got players back now, and I rate Ange for saying this, like, don't look for sympathy cards for me.
Yeah.
When I check my inbox, mate, there ain't no try do that for 2 months. And because we just got dealt a bad blow we had illnesses and injury. There was no Ahmad, no Kobe Mainu, no Collier, no Ugarte.
Why did they bring that Cheeto on earlier?
Yeah,
91st minute.
And that's
We've
my
been talking
only.
about how they rated him off of Arsenal. Bring him on.
That's my only gripe with Amorim yesterday is we're in a shit situation. Bring him on earlier. Bring him on. It wasn't like
Just give
Hoyland
him
was
20
tearing up
minutes,
trees.
yeah.
Just give him 15, 20 minutes. And he even brought him on after Onana done a stupid throw out
Oh yeah.
to flip in to Dorgu, and then we're on the back foot from a free kick. So you're bringing on this kid and say, right, go and defend this free kick. That's your first action. And meanwhile, Spurs are trying to waste the clock down in the corner as well. We're probably not going to touch the ball. He didn't get a touch. So great for him and his family. He's posted, I've made my debut. That's great. But he should have been given more minutes. That's my only gripe. But other parts of the performance, I'm like, 2 crap teams, what we know. There was enough chances there. Garnacho, I cannot believe you've missed that. I cannot believe he has missed that. Dorgu was absolutely doing all right. He just kept ignoring him on the overlap.
Yeah.
He kept ignoring him every single time. Played the man in. And as soon as he played him in one time, Dorgu flashed the ball across the box. The dangerous chance. Xerxes was actually bright. He was our best player.
I think it was your
Not
best.
many
Like,
few man.
do you know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. I was like, actually, he's getting hold of the ball. Bit of acceleration.
Yeah.
Nutmeg. Hold that. Like, he looked a bit. So I'm going, okay, there's something there. But Bruno wasn't good enough for me. I was very critical of him. I said he had a shocker. I haven't watched it back. He had to do a lot a lot of running, which is, again, it's not his game.
Gary Neville, during the commentary, you probably would have heard it, he was very critical of the tactics of Ruben Amorim.
That's not helping him, it's not helping him.
And Ruben Amorim at the moment, as I said, I mean, I heard what Cam said yesterday, and I've heard a few little rumblings from fans.
I brought it after the Newcastle game.
You said it after the Newcastle game. Are you starting to think to yourself,
we've got to consider what's going on?
Yeah, is this guy are you sure? I mean, like,
no,
it's crazy we're talking
here's the
this
thing,
way.
Robbie,
It's
we're not,
crazy.
you can't be sure.
This playing free at the back thing. I mean, guys,
This is
what's the name
crazy.
out, right? Santa Clara, Casapia, Estoril, Rio Avenue, Morinese, Framalicia, excuse my pronunciations, Aruca, Nacional, Gil Vicente, Estrella, AVS, Firenze, and Boa Vista.
Are these, what are you doing?
What
Beers?
we're talking about
These
Italian
beers?
cities.
These are all teams in the Portuguese league. Now, no disrespect to the Portuguese league. Obviously, the top of the league at the moment
We're
is
on fraud
Sporting,
watch.
It's Sporting, Benfica, Porto, and Braga.
We're on.
And those
we're
are all
on
the
fraud
other
watch.
teams. Now,
Yeah, well,
That's mad.
no one said
Maybe
this
you-
when he mashed up Man City
no,
4-1.
but hold on, Flex.
This is mad.
Hold on, Flex. Yeah? Maybe you can play free at the back, week in, week out in a league like
Them
that.
leagues, yeah.
But this is the Premier League, my friend.
They're doing
And
to
it's
you
a lot different now.
what they've done to Ange.
Are you
They're
thinking to
doing it
yourself?
to you. Don't
No.
ride out.
This is where I
ride
will
out
be
for
with
your
you.
man.
Yeah,
Ride
yeah,
out
yeah,
for
yeah.
Well,
him.
you're riding out. Even you'll think
Well, I said
You've
don't
got
ride
the
in.
exact
Ride
same
out.
problem.
Listen, when you say ride out, right, you're not exactly pulling up tricks. You had one win.
Ride
like you
out
said,
for your man.
months.
Here's the thing with that argument.
Does he have to be a bit more flexible and
Here's-
say to himself, I'm not in Portugal now.
Yeah.
I'm in the Premier League. It's a lot
Yeah,
of teams
right.
I'm coming up against.
Good.
But the flexing,
Just
flexible.
say.
Yes, I like. This is a good discussion point, yeah, because he has two options, yeah. Most Man United fans have made their minds up that these players aren't good enough, yeah. So it's not a matter of work with them to improve them. The opinion is they're done. Like they've got to go, yeah.
But he still might have to.
Right,
though.
no, he will. So that's one side of the argument. The second side of the argument is until you get just the right tools that you need to play how you want to
100%.
play,
Yeah.
just try a little something
Yeah,
different.
that's all I'm saying.
Right, and I hear that point. The problem is that we're saying go back to, what are we going back to?
Mm.
You just bought a manager.
Because last time I
Points.
checked. Hang on. Last time.
Going back to some points.
Last time, but that's in the short form. Last time I checked, under Eric Ten Hag in 4-3-3, in 4-2-3-1, in 4-4-2, in Diamond, in Ralph 4-2-2, in all of these. Last time I checked, these lot are frauds. That's what I saw. We were saying, I know it's got worse, but we were also cussing out Man United last year. What are we reverting back to? Are we reverting back to fantastic football?
Yeah, but you can't keep
and
going on like
flexibility?
this. If he keeps going on
this
like
is the
this.
trade-off. No, so this is the trade-off. This is the trade-off. You stick to those principles and you take these licks, Ruben. 100%. You have to, not sure about that. Can you change it? You got to take it. Man United aren't going to get relegated. No people say, "Are you sure?" Man United, I've done maths.
Yeah, they're not
They're
going
not
to
going to get.
We got 10 points on Wolves, so we hopefully won't go lower than 16th. And we got 12 on Ipswich, and we got to play them next home game. I think
Sounds like
Six
Kevin
points.
Keegan.
as long as we, and I'll tell you what, I'll tell you another thing. Yeah,
I would love it.
if he's got to go to Old Trafford, they got to get something. Yeah, and we got to play Wolves as well, and they got to come to Old Trafford and they got to get something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it is that trade-off. I am going to be completely honest. I'm not naive. I am looking at what's going on, and Ineos are volatile as well. And it's kind of gone through my head and out the other end back, and I've gone,
Yeah.
if he keeps doing the madness, would these criminals even dare? But it's true.
But the
I
other
think
thing-
Adam
that
McCullough
was
said
the
it.
other thing I was
It's
gonna
more.
say.
It's a dominant. If they did, we can't even afford to do it.
Yeah, well, the other thing I was going to say is 1
How
year.
many-
I can't
How
actually
many
believe
years
it.
contract did you give him?
It's literally
2.5.
1 year to the day nearly.
Yeah,
I think.
and they've made things
The
worse.
Ineos have been in charge of that.
Ineos have made things worse.
Yeah.
Can I just add my 2 pence on this? So on the Amorim thing,
Yeah.
like it's gonna, like, you knew it was gonna be painful, right? You knew it was gonna be a rip it up, control, delete.
Proper,
We knew that was gonna be
It's
the
like we ain't
case,
got
right?
the stomach for it now. We're seeing the thing
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, change. No,
bear
we
in
knew
mind,
this.
exactly
bear in
that.
mind that obviously he's come in.
Exactly
When did
that.
he get there? Like beginning of December, end of November time?
October.
Was it
Yeah, you got
October?
a point in October. Start
All
of
right,
November.
we'll
Yeah.
call it November.
Yeah.
You've had one window, okay.
And couldn't really do anything.
You've loaned out a couple of players. You got rid of Anthony, I guess. You got rid of Rashford, whatever. This
And
is this,
Anthony scored again.
sure.
A brilliant goal, by the way.
This is,
Unbelievable.
this is going to take time, right, to rectify all of the mess that's at Old Trafford. Like, you can't expect. I understand that you would want results to pick up. But what he's trying to do is saying, this is the way that I play. It works for me. This you knew that when you bought into me. You knew what style of football I was going to play. I'm not saying he can't adapt certain things. I'm not saying he can't adapt certain
14
things.
14 points in 14 games.
It's the same principle when it comes to Ange. But what I think he's trying to do is, a lot of these players, hopefully for your sake, wouldn't be there in the summer. They're going to change things and bring other players in and try and do that. What he's trying to do,
that's what he does have to improve.
sure.
But
what he's trying to do is implement his style of play to be like, when I do get the opportunity in the summer or the next couple windows to bring people in, you know, if you're still at this club, the way that you have to play and how you fit into my system. That's how these system-based managers work. It's the same with Ange. Our youth academy now play the way that Ange wants to play. It comes now from that because you're having a structure. So you knew it was going to be painful. It's not going to be fixed overnight because the problems at United go so deep. And on top of that, with Ineos, there is so much stuff that has happened prior to Ineos coming in. Obviously, it's a shit show at the minute, but that is also going to take time. The whole club is in disarray.
Everybody's on edge. The decisions that Ineos have made have now contributed to a working atmosphere that is having everybody on eggshells. Because, you know, the thing is about making cuts, right, is this. You can make cuts to Danny and John and Sarah, who work in the flipping, he goes out and does coaching to the schools, the kids, or the couple of scouting thing, and the tea ladies and the people who cook, the chefs and that. You can make that. But that is shaving the trimmings off of what the real... Ineos spent, like, what, 10 to 12 million pounds in the package of getting rid of Eric Ten Hag. You've spent 8 million pounds bringing Ruben Amorim in. You spent 200 million on transfers plus the January, so it's about 220. So what is saving that versus the environment that you're now creating where people are going into work on edge? That filters through to the players. That filters through to... And Ruben Amorim, I'll be honest, I think now he's not out of his depth, yeah. Like, I know it's easy to say he is because he's losing all these games, but I think he's also going, whoa, this is bad. Like, we're losing games, which is one thing, but the whole ethos of the place, what I'm talking about is staff on edge, everyone losing their jobs and stuff. When really losing them jobs, how much is that actually saving off of the total?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not. It's not having that.
Just before you go to it, Doyle, like 14 points in 14 games he's got. David Moyes, 13 points in 5 games.
Moisey belongs to Everton.
Going into a team.
We got to go there next. God help us.
Yeah, going into a team with...
God won't help you.
To your point, Abby, going into a team with worse players.
Move to.
And improving them. Look at this guy, Beto. I'm like, who's that? Since I've been watching him play, like someone, you know what I mean? Yeah. So...
Because he hasn't improved anyone.
Doyle,
the thing for me is, it's basically what Abby said. He's went and looked for a manager who plays a very particular style of football, and then he's come and played that football, and you're like, can you change it and play something else? And it's like, well, why did you buy me?
Yeah, they brought him
and
here
you know where
that.
that's coming from? I definitely agree with the edginess in your club. There's going to be a nervous energy around everything. Even the dinner ladies don't know what to save in case they get it wrong. They might get sacked.
It's true.
Honestly,
It's true. That's exactly it.
So, but do you know who else is contributing towards that? Your legends. Your legends in the media, Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Rio Ferdinand, all of these players cussing out Amorim. He's just got here. Yeah. You're creating a nervous energy already, and I get it, because they're winners. They've won it all, so they want to see their club exactly where it was.
In a period of stability, United ain't
You've got to echo a message of stability for your club, because you are what's the word I'm looking for? They're the statues of their club, right? They're the role models of their club, right? And they're supposed to set a tone for the manager and the players, and I think they're completely doing it wrong. They're allowed an opinion, but if you want your club to do well, then you're going to have to try.
The problem that they've got is, though, because I had to talk about this on our other shows, and Ryan, he was saying that, and I was like, well, the problem you've got is when the legends speak, though, there's two sides, because, like I said, their standards of just like basic football. Forget all the hype of like, well, that doesn't look right to me. There's no intensity. That system's not working, or this, that, and the other. They're cut from a different cloth. But at the same time, if they talk too positively, like I remember when Ollie was there getting hung out to dry, and he's there, Gary Neville going, listen.
But there was some bias there.
There was a lot of bias.
Exactly, and that's what people are clocking onto. Is when there's a bias and there's a friendship there, or there's a previous history, your tone is very different to when you don't know the person and it's completely.
Because I never saw this version of Gary Neville when Ollie was thinking.
No, there was none of these.
And then, to be fair, Gary Neville what he even did was actually went, I played with Ollie 20 years. I'm not going to throw my mate under the bus. He even said it on Sky.
To the bias.
He said it. So now what's happening is because that, like you said, that bias isn't there, they're being more scathing. Scholes is cussing out the players. Yoro's 18 years of age, 19 years of age. trying to get used to the league, and he's already saying, "Nah, not for me."
You gave Ollie, an inexperienced manager, £600 million to create a team and a structure, and now you're reaping the rewards 100%. Of it because of the bias and the friendship that your legends had. And that's exactly what I'm talking about them setting the tone. They've enabled this. They really have. But I totally understand they can't praise it, but they have to do something different, because you can't just be negative all the time.
There's a lot of super chats coming in. Stephen Ireland says, Robbie, the Portuguese league has more Champions Leagues than Arsenal and has Premier Leagues, and they won it before. Listen, I knew someone was going to come with this. That's not the point I'm making. The top teams in Portugal are excellent. Benfica, Porto, Sporting, right? But then when you start to go below that, I read out all those names. A lot of the people here on the panel who would study football every day, they even knew half of these teams are. What the point I'm trying to make is, no disrespect to that league, but it's not the Premier League. So you can play a certain formation and stick to that and probably work there. Over here, you're going to have to be a bit more adaptable. You're coming up against a team like Bournemouth that you think is a small team that is loaded with internationals from top to bottom.
Well, there's no quality.
So
gap.
there's
no quality gap.
But also,
he's staying to his principles.
It's
in the
like
long term. He's like, we're going to be better for it.
The thing is with that Sporting team as well is Gyökeres. Like, you put Gyökeres in that Man United team, someone that takes the chances that we saw you create against Tottenham.
He scored yesterday.
And Man United might even come out.
His argument is, once I get players to actually play the system.
The top teams in Portugal are top teams.
Liverpool buy a load of players from them because they are top.
So everyone does.
We've got pretty much apparently Kenda. He's coming apparently. I mean, the young kid is up.
He's
and
a
down.
good player, by the way.
Yeah. So
King Joe says you all better shame Jota for that dive and the ref.
Fair
right?
play. That was diabolical. Don't do it again.
We'll
that was terrible.
Medical Bunker says Amorim at United feels like a hilarious psychop. We've got one here. Pretty underwhelming weekend. No drama. Hashtag YNWA. You got away with it. Matits in the mud twice in 1 week. Oh, it's diabolical, says Lost Boy. So Michael Oliver says the Don is like Kroenke's absolute. So the Don is like the Kroenke's absolute criminal. You better pay that bet to X and stop using it. Listen, how can you? I'm not paying that bet. Right, we had a bet. Right, that it's typical expressions. A bet that Havertz would score more than Solanke. He's out for the season now. He's saying that I was. Anybody who thinks I should pay that is an absolute disgrace. Right?
Just on bets, you owe me lunch.
Yeah. In the preview, in the DR preview, we shook hands. Yeah, loser gets the lunch. So
found somewhere that's
you don't need much. I just pack of cucumbers or something.
That made the Mayfair.
She actually owes me because when we beat them. So if anything, you should just get it.
What
I'll
get Matisse lunch.
All right.
Yeah. And you know that's you should not say anything.
Lost Boy 911 says El Modico.
Hold that.
You was only getting a meal deal anyway. You've got gas and electric to pay for.
Lost Boy says El Modico highlight reel was a 7-second clip of the goal and nothing else. Honestly, Ange and Amorim trying to outdo each other, who's worse tactically. Steve K says if Liverpool loses the league to this Arsenal now.
Cheek of it.
Don petition to sack AGT and keep Doyle.
Agreed.
That's pretty evil. Chelsea took back shots in true Valentine's Day style.
Is that why you decorated the whole house? For them back shots?
Marino says Marino has more goals than Højlund in the Prem. It's true, and Xerxes. Panvajit says just like Spurs, they had their whole starting defence out. Also had their entire front line out. No moaning, no crying about it. Manager learned how to adapt. Just got on with it and took the 3 points. Take notes. Javan says, why is Neville not criticising Ineos? Only Amorim.
Exactly.
That's a fair point.
Because he's a stadium task force and that. And he's on,
Arsenal fans on X after every Liverpool win is hilarious, says 123. Andy Nichols says, Tell chose the right club. Flex is a barber's dream, says Andy.
So mad.
They're so mean.
Fabrizio.
They're so mean.
Panvachit says Fabrizio reported Spurs paid a €10 million loan, €10 million loan fee. That much for Tell. He didn't choose Spurs over United. They were the only club dumb enough to pay that amount. No youth, no courage, no success. He's he's a one-dimensional manager. I never wanted Amorim, says Sayer. Jeez. Writer editor says, love the banter. Just a request to Mumbai Premier League fans. Please come to the stadium to watch your local team, Mumbai City, play. Our stadium is half empty. Go and support the team. La Liga also weakened significantly after the top three, says Stephen Island's grandmother. It does, but I'd say not as much as the Portuguese league. I'm not dissing the Portuguese league. I'm just saying it's not. It's not as well. You didn't know half of the teams, and I'm just saying it's not as strong as the Premier League. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not.
So he just needs to be a bit more adaptable. That's what I think.
Gap he's talking about.
Neville should not be allowed on comms for Man United games, says Craig. Shall we go to? Let's go to Chelsea. That was a game on Friday. Took place. You can see the seagulls on the table. Matisse is a very, very smart guy. He didn't want to ruin his Valentine's, so he went out on Thursday night for his Valentine's Day meal. Right. Good move.
Good move.
Good move, right?
Good planning.
This is why, a guy like this will stay in a relationship for a long time. Because he understands how these things work. Right? So he's not. He saw the game against Brighton the previous week.
Yes.
And he said to himself, no, I'm not going to be in a bad mood for my girl. We're going out on Thursday, baby.
Is that how you said it, Matisse? Did you say it like that as well?
Something like that.
Right?
He did the most.
And on Friday night, leave me alone. Right? You worked it out perfectly.
Give him the seagull of shame, lads.
But,
that's the seagull of shame.
And also, just before we get to you, I've not seen Clara. Any Clara Bitsy?
You haven't seen Clara Bitsy?
No, she's missing. Clara.
MIA.
Oh, yeah.
Clara, where you at?
I can't see you.
Anyway, Matisse, man. I mean, first of all, that goal by Matoma. How did he take that touchdown and then still have the ability to? That's one of the goals of the season.
Disgusting.
And they were brilliant, Brighton. The way they popped the ball around. And again, another disappointing display. Guys like Neto are really ready.
Everyone, every single player on that pitch was appalling. Like, there's not a single good performance to come from it. We didn't have a shot on target. You sometimes you see Brighton, they'll outplay you. They bullied us.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Van Heck clattering into Nkuku. I'm seeing Rutter just bodying people left, right, and centre. That touch that Matoma takes out of the sky, that's more quality than I've seen from our wingers all season combined. All of our wingers, all of our players. Like, it's literally that attack right now is Palmer FC or bust. And you're seeing it now. Palmer's gone for a very rough patch. He's not playing well. And nobody else is stepping up to the plate. In Nkuku up front, I've said it week after week on this show, it is like playing with 10 men. The guy should have gone in January. They should have agreed a fee with Bayern Munich, brought the asking price down, and got a replacement up front. But they didn't do that for whatever reason. And the manager continues to say he's not a striker, but yet he has to play him up front now because he's not going to use one of the academy strikers. He's not going to change his system. Can you play Palmer as a false nine or Sancho as a false nine? Can you play wingers as inside wingers to get goals? But then again, are the wingers going to get goals? You're looking at Madueke's and Neto's to rely upon to get goals, to run in behind. Maybe it'll work. Try something different. He hasn't. But, this has been long coming. People have been saying, oh, why are you so annoyed we're fourth? We're not fourth anymore. We're not fourth anymore. We're sixth. And rightly so. The performances over the last 2 months, the performances over the last month and a half,
full of hate, lads.
They reflect that. They reflect that. And the funny thing is that this is the favourable fixtures that we've come through. We're about to go to Nottingham Forest on the last day. We're about to go to Newcastle on the 2 game weeks before that. Arsenal away, Liverpool. It's peak. Villa away is next. So
got to play us at home as well.
The performance was shocking. Levi Colwell, all of the defenders. Chalobah has been shocking recently.
Yeah. But even that Matoma one though, when you look back, I know you could have, but actually,
it was
more credit to Matoma.
The keeper.
Well, the keeper's coming for Sanchez, but this is the goalkeeper that was meant to replace Sanchez. Instead, they bought an understudy when really we needed a top goalkeeper to come in. That's a position that you just don't play with. And then you got Levi Colwell, who's just so fragile, so weak, just allowing himself to just get bundled over. It was arm to arm, shoulder to shoulder.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, you're meant to be a centre back.
Are we seeing a bit of a plateau? Are we seeing like?
Well, look, I'm a big believer of the partnerships are very important at centre back. right, you are as good as your partner, or your partner balances you out. And we don't balance out our centre-back partnerships. Like, we have B-side and C-side centre-backs playing next to B-side, C-side centre-backs. How many times do you see Nemanja Vidic partner up next to a Phil Jones or Chris Smalling? How many times have I seen a John Terry partner up next to a Tal Benaim? You know what I mean? Like, you can make centre-back partnerships if the A side is that guy. Thiago Silva, I had it a couple of years ago. But when you start putting guys that are developing or still on the come up next to guys that are not good enough, that's what you get. You get calamities. So I'm not really surprised there.
Can I ask
it's just honestly, it was a shocking display. The whole thing was just disgusting.
Can I ask you a question? You
Yes.
know, like, you loved the whole Jinky Majink, and he was in flavour of the month earlier this season. Jadon Sancho.
He's been appalling.
Okay.
He's not taking any responsibility.
We're not loving the Jinky Majink anymore.
Listen, I will always stand on the fact that I think he's a very good footballer in terms of he does the fundamentals and the basics. But when you ask him to go up a gear, actually take the game by the scruff of the neck and decide games or win you games or be the guy and actually show the quality. Because like I said, if this was a guy with bad first touch, bad ball control, bad passing weight, you know, I would be like, okay, it's a scrub.
Yeah, it's not
but because
technical
he's actually technically secure and solid and does the fundamentals, can you do more?
Yeah, but what transfer?
But he doesn't
this is
do
what
more.
I'm talking about the mentality.
Yeah, well,
that's when you start. Don't want to say.
But this
scrub,
is why
that's when
this
you start
is
getting into. Well, it doesn't matter where you're.
But
going.
this
You
is
don't
good
have
seasons.
but this is why he's a 20 to 25 million pound
Exactly.
obligation and not 100.
How much is
right? And this is why he'll end up being a squad player at best and not a starter.
No matter where. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I just noticed on Sancho, I saw something that I went. As soon as the camera went to the bench, because Madueke come off, I said, this guy ain't got his socks on. What was he was getting?
I don't even know. I don't think I was watching at that point. Yeah, I don't think I was watching it.
And he was getting ready like bare slow, and I'm like, don't know about it. And then he's putting the thing like that.
Cold.
I was like, he ain't gonna run.
He doesn't want it.
I could just tell. You know, and then listen. Sometimes you can get a lot of unconscious bias from body. Like I don't like to go, but I'm telling you, I'm only saying because I see it from experience. I just had a feeling like Brighton are on this. I don't know if he's gonna. And then you see some of the challenge that he evaded. Kind of just not getting stuck in. You look at the role in the second goal when just come out and slide.
Yeah.
He just kind of. And then the goal went in, and he just kind of. It's only because I've seen that. So I know that's because the technical side of it is fine. But let's not.
Maybe it's La Liga. Maybe it's La Liga for him. Sun shining. Sun shining. Good climate, good weather.
Go back to Germany. Be fine at Dortmund.
Maybe it's La Liga.
He wasn't. I'm not just.
It's
big
everyone. Everyone. Only Caicedo I was looking at. Okay, Caicedo gives a shit.
Yeah, because he's running around.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, if people think he's bad now with the striker, he will be next to go down. I'm telling you.
That Nkunku thing was crazy. Like
he's so bad.
I couldn't believe
he's so bad, but he can't play up there.
I forgot he's playing.
Yeah, honestly, same.
What's his best position?
He at Leipzig was playing in the front two, and he was the second striker. So he's kind of like a Xerxes type position, you could say. But what's happened here is because Chelsea last summer didn't sign a striker, even though they were linked with ones, but they didn't get it closed off. The manager and the club come out and say, oh, he's a striker. He's one of our striker options. We got two in each position. I'm like, cool. Conference League, he's getting goals. I'm like, cool. When it comes to the Premier League and you're going up against the Websters, and the Van Hecks and the physical guys that are actually full-time footballers, not part-time, like in the Conference League, now can you actually play this position? He can't play this position. He's not physically, he doesn't inflict himself on the game enough. He's not cut out to play the role. But this is what happens when you spend a lot of money, but you don't actually look at the squad and make sure it's balanced. Oh, I've got Neto who crosses a lot. Do I have a striker that can head the ball? Oh, I've got Caicedo in midfield. But if he needs help, can I have someone else come in there and win tackles and interceptions? No. I haven't got a leader in this team. Oh, that's an intangible I might need. Oh, I might need a top centre-back next to all these young guys, next to Insamino and Achampong, who are playing under 21s, like even though they were meant to be in this first team competing for minutes. So
keep going, lad.
Listen,
I'm enjoying
the
that.
goalkeeper, who looks at the goalkeeper position and says, yeah, Robert Sanchez, that's a good goalkeeper for this project. That makes a lot of sense. And then the guy that you replace him with is maybe not fit for purpose. So listen, at the end of the day, it all goes back to the owners and the sporting directors. I've said last season the sporting directors should have been sacked on the spot. They should have been sacked for even being linked with Garnacho in the winter window. You see that link? If we had signed Garnacho, my head would have been on Pluto. Yeah, I would have been gone if we had signed Garnacho.
Can I ask you?
Gone.
Yeah, go on.
Can you not buy Matoma, please? Can you just leave him at Brighton?
I don't want us to buy any more players from Brighton. Yeah, leave Brighton alone.
You might just buy Brighton.
Leave Brighton alone. Like, how many more players do we?
But your balance sheet's very good in terms of net spend, how much money. That is true.
That seems to be the way they're buying players. They're buying players to.
You've addressed that part of it. You're just forgetting about what you've actually got to put out every
It's
Saturday.
like renovations. Like, as you would flip houses, they're flipping players.
The flipping's not even really started because the players that they've signed, they tried to get rid of in January. They said, we're only going to sell Renato Vega, we're not going to loan him. We're only going to sell Chukwuemeka, we're not going to loan him. They're both out on loan. You didn't get the money you wanted. Same with Disasi.
I saw him. He played right last night at Renato Vega. I saw him playing for Juventus.
Some of these players in the squad that are looking horrendous are good players.
Yeah.
But the environment and the balance is wrong. And it all comes from the top, and the expectations are disgusting. The fact that these lot are trying to shove down our throats that we don't need to be in the Champions League or we're not expected to be, it's ahead of schedule. Bin that shit. I remember last season when Poch went, they said the next manager is going to be under pressure to be in the Champions League and to win cups. They haven't shown that in the window over the summer, that Champions League is a priority. They just signed a bunch of B team players for Conference League. They didn't show it in January.
Maresca said it, didn't he? Maresca said,
he said
not being pressured by the board to
That's
get
a disgrace.
Champions League spots.
By the way, 10,000 of you watching. Let's get 1,000 likes. We've got 900 likes. Sorry to
I just wanted to ask you about Maresca.
I personally...
because you won't really get onto him
because I said at the start of the season, he's not my problem. Like,
is he good enough? Though?
I agree.
He might not be. He had a great spell, and now he's having a terrible spell.
A bit like Leicester, wasn't it?
So it's like I have no shock. There's no shock in me if Maresca isn't good enough because I said at the start of the season he was fast.
You're not banging the drum to be like, this is
he came from Leicester. This is his first season in the Premier League. He's a young manager. If he's not good enough, whoop-de-doo. Like, wow, what a revelation.
And the Chelsea man, Liz, you will just go and get another manager.
But this is the thing. When you do your homework, as these directors did, we spent 72 hours a day. You know Fabrizio Romano? I work all day, every day, 72 hours a day to do this. So you hired him. You had all the time in the world after Poch. That was your decision. If that decision is wrong, why am I looking at Maresca? How about you just leave? And then maybe you can go with him. But you have to go. I'm not going to say, Maresca, you've got to go. And then I'm going to place my trust in the sporting directors to make the next hire. What? What is this? No.
Do you think you get top? I mean, top 5 might get you Champions League this season as well. Currently, you're in 6th. Bournemouth now above you on 43 points. City with their big win, they're on 44. And then even in 6th place, just 2 points behind you, a Newcastle breathing down your neck there. I mean, getting top 4. You've got to get some form going because getting top 4 is not going to be easy.
No. They've got Villa away, which I have no confidence in. I can easily see us losing to Villa away. And then they have Leicester and Southampton at home. That has to be 6 points. Any less and finished because everything after that is mad. So Tottenham and Arsenal, I think, are after that. So it's a flip of a coin, Robbie. I'm not confident in us getting Champions League purely because I think there's still more injuries to come. I think that, a lot of these players that are underperforming, like Palmer, they are literally the life and soul of the team. If they don't respond or recover, if Palmer doesn't pick up and Caicedo gets more gassed out, there's nothing left. The team's not good in front of goal. They're not clinical. They don't finish. They're not even creating chances. No shots on target in the last game, and they can't defend. This team 100% are not going to get any better at defending for the rest of the season. They will keep conceding goals, 100%.
Let's get some super chats going again. Sorry. If United had 10 shots at JFK, he'd still be alive, says Napster on my day. Yeah. Right, Catalan says that Arsenal were eliminated from the Champions League by Sporting. We know that. I'm not dissing the league, just saying. Well, Sporting a very good side.
They were all right when they played the big boys in Europe.
Sporting very good. But...
and he built that team to knock out the mighty Arsenal.
Yeah, he did.
There's got to be something there if you allow him to build something.
Even beat City, but the problem is the week in, week out. Yeah. Up and down the country in this league.
So if you brought that Sporting team into the Premier League, when you get the right players.
You know what I mean? That team doesn't function without
just a reminder, that same Sporting team also put 5 against in this season. Anyway, Black Wolf says, Matisse, your Freedom FC squad are cheeks. Stakenso says 0 shots on target since 2021 against City.
That's the first time since that game that we've had no shots on target in the match.
Oh, since City.
Not the whole game.
The whole game.
Not one.
SD Dowie
hallucinating, but it's true.
SD Dowie says, big up the panel. YWNA, top of the league. It's late. It's late.
Good lads.
It's late, Robbie.
It's late.
You're not winning nothing. Yardman's voice, he said as well. Palmer is what I gave myself for Valentine's, says Gomez. Ralph Sheg says, question for Matisse, is Jackson still in the same convo as Watkins or Isak? But the height on Sancho is...
I don't think Watkins...
His return to Dortmund,
is crazy, yeah.
He just had 3 good games. Sorry?
Watkins not had a great season, but...
He's way better than Jackson.
You didn't say he was as good as Isak.
No, I said that's the conversation we're in now because we moved on.
Which conversation?
What conversation?
What conversation?
That's the group chat we want to be in.
Wait, you want to be in it?
That was earlier on in the season.
Clarify.
Listen,
what did you say? What did you say?
Let me say something.
Let us know what this guy said.
Let me say something. We had 9 goals in November.
Doesn't matter.
Shit was looking real good round here.
You went
with
early.
Jackson.
Gone early.
We were looking good. How was I to know?
Early.
Even without the good finishing, this brother has gone on a 2-month spell of nothing. That's crazy.
You went
What I will
early.
say,
Purple patch.
No, it's not a purple patch. But I don't know what kind of patch it is.
It's
Give
not
it a different
purple,
colour.
it's
It's a different colour. But what I will say is, for every bit of slander Jackson cops, watch this Chelsea team without him, and it is 10 times worse.
Yeah, agreed.
It is bad.
He's decent.
You have
He's
no
a
one to
decent
stretch the
player,
play,
but
like.
He's not near Watkins.
I was just saying, we ain't
certainly
really
isn't
trying to speak to Havertz anymore.
Watkins
But now
is
we might have to go back in there.
clear
Just,
of Jackson.
I want to try and move into other group chats.
yeah, we tried.
Clara
We go back and finish it.
Bitsy.
Oh, she's here.
Clara Bitsy's here. Big her up. Says, as a Chelsea fan, I need to focus on our women's team, who's on course to become invincibles in the WSL. And Matisse, are you going on the protest on the 25th?
What are you not protesting about?
I think
We need more money.
What are you protesting about?
listen,
Save the bridge.
misusage of funds, misallocation of funds, my dear.
Wow.
That's what we're protesting.
We're all
Listen,
protesting.
the away fans have started this. I think they went to the Brighton game. I felt sorry for them because they went to Brighton literally the week before. Them last trains to London, and they're suffering because that performance was diabolical. I think they've got amongst each other and said they're gonna do something outside the bridge. I don't know what the target is. That's my concern. Is it Blues Co out? Is it Clear Lake out? Is it the directors out? Is it change the model?
People to get out.
Is
Oh,
it
man,
Is it change? Is it change the model?
Yeah.
It's not something that's like made massively clear on social media, but I'm not necessarily annoyed with that because for me, and also I think they are already outside, so they're going before the Southampton game and they'll be there anyway because they go to all the games. So as long as they know what they're doing, then I'm glad that is.
Mingo says, get Neto out the club. Mudryk is better than him. What's happening with that?
Oh
Mudryk
my
thing?
days.
Mudryk is still waiting upon his test tube.
What's it taking so long?
I told you these piss tests take time, brother.
No, it says the way Anthony's balling in at Betis is shocking. He looks a different player. Liverpool. Let's get to Liverpool. I mean, massive 3 points for Liverpool, right? It was a bit of a hairy game for Liverpool. I thought Wolves played really well. I don't think Wolves deserve to.
They have a lot of games like
Did
that.
Wolves
Where they
really
don't
deserve
actually...
to lose that game? Acuna again, excellent in the game. But you got over the line, and that's what champions do, innit? I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When the game's been a bit tight, when it's not been going well, you had to obviously Everton coming back at the last minutes during the week. You had the loss against Plymouth. All of a sudden, a little bit of vulnerabilities, but you held out for a big 3 points because a bit of pressure was on.
Massive amount of pressure on. Said this, right? I worked it out. Watched the interview with Arne Slot, and I loved what he said. So at the start of the season, we were playing very freely, right? We weren't expected to win anything. We just got a new manager, and he said, go out and enjoy your football. And that's a mentality thing. When you're playing like that, you've got no pressure. Just enjoy it. Now we're at the proper end of the season, the business end of the season, where it's on. We have a potential to win some trophies right now. And you're seeing it, how it's affecting the Liverpool players, right? I do think in the first half, we come out and we were super intense. We went at them, we pressed them, the high press was there, and we got our 2 goals, and we basically sat on that. We went out like we wanted to win the league in that first half. But I also think in the second half, which was diabolically awful, by the way, it was terrible. Yeah. I think we also played like we wanted to win the league in the second half, but the negative end of it. we were so nervous. I don't think I've ever seen Liverpool players as nervous as this season. It was like we couldn't string a pass together. I've seen Virgil van Dijk getting sent by Cunha, who was phenomenal, by the way. That is such a special player. He sent the whole defence one way, made space for his left and wrapped it in. It was one of them where we had to crawl across the line, and we got some luck as well. So we're looking at Kanate. We seen he could have had a few yellows in that game, and he never got sent off. Slot was smart about it, and you're talking about centre-back partnerships.
Yeah.
As long as we've got Virgil there, he seems to elevate anyone else's game. Yeah. And Quansah come on, mate, and was fantastic. He really was. He just done his job as a centre-back. Just clear it. Just get it out. If in doubt, lad, I don't want the ball anywhere near the box. Just wrap it out, yeah? There was a particular chance that they had towards the end of the game where it's come in from a cross, and if that hits that player, it's going in. It's going in. And I know how difficult it is as a defender to try and, with your weak foot, wrap it round and get it to go back the other way. And he managed to do it. And it was a testament to the other side of Liverpool's game, the resilience. And we didn't exactly get through the Everton game. We've seen what happened. And that's definitely played into their mind. I've seen it in the game. They've run the socks off. They've worked really hard. They've got ahead. They've had a goal disallowed by Mo Salah, which was fraction offside, which was a beautiful goal. I don't know if you've seen it. Brilliant. Yeah, outside the boots, wrapped it round. Yeah. Brilliant. And then, that has a toll on you mentally. We're now 3-0 up. Yes, we're going to win this game. Oh, it's been taken away. Right, we go again, right? Then we get penalty, and we'll talk about this penalty, yeah? My word, Jota, yeah? I'm so sorry, Rival fans, you can get at me for this one. That was a dive. The defender did quite literally everything to get out of his way. I seen his arm trailing there, and he even tucked his arm in perfectly around it. Jota, you dirty little git. Don't do that, lad.
Probably shouldn't have slid in like that.
But having said that, I want to win at all costs, so do you know what I mean, lads? You know what I mean? So it's one of them. But it was diabolical.
It was a disgrace. And I don't think he got a booking afterwards, did he?
No, he didn't.
Like,
he
that
should have
be
done.
when that happens, like blatant like that.
Yeah, they should be recommending a booking.
Yeah, sorry, no penalty anymore. Also, hold that.
I'm just glad they overturned it though, because we've seen a lot of very dodgy penalties this season where they just stuck with it on field. That was one of the first ones I've seen in a while.
You couldn't stick with it on field of that.
Fair, absolutely right decision. Yeah. But I do think that affected Liverpool again in the game.
You could argue there was slight contact. Slight.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
No. That's what they've done with some of them this season, isn't it? They said,
not that one.
No,
on first
the man even drew his arm in.
Yeah,
but there was slight contact, wasn't there? Even though he did that, there was slight contact. So we've seen this season where they're still giving it because you can argue that there's contact.
I mean, Simon Hooper got the decision right, and I also think he got the decision right for the first penalty. If you're looking at the first one, Diaz is about to be one-on-one with the keeper, so the keeper makes a decision to come out of goal and meet him. And because he's made that decision, Diaz is now going to play for that penalty. He knows exactly what you're going to do, so he's going to take a heavier touch, so you clatter him, and that's textbook how you play for the penalty,
that's fine.
right?
Yeah.
So, but I do think that next penalty again and the Mo Salah goal getting disallowed really had a knock-on effect for the rest of the game for the Liverpool players. Like, when are we finally going to win this game? When are we going to this effort going to pay off?
Also, what it is the Everton game, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, and now all of a sudden, you're not sure until that whistle goes. I've been there with those, you know what I mean, where you play against a team, they've got that last minute, so all of a sudden when you've been comfortable in 2-1s and things like that, you're not no more because you're just at the back of your mind.
The stakes as well.
And the stakes are so high.
That game there.
That's what we're talking about. So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about the Portuguese league earlier. Wolves are 17th. And they just went to Liverpool's ground, Anfield, which is a formidable ground to go to, and they were better than us. They simply were, and that's because the quality gap is not so huge. And when you've got players like Cunha, honestly, that goal was just marvellous. You should try and get him, by the way, because honestly, he's a sick player.
Everyone's going to be in for it.
Liverpool, it's testament. We had spirit, resilience, and we crawled over the line, and we had to do that when we won it with 99 points. Go back and look, Look how many games we won 2-1. Millions of them. Aston Villa one was stood out massively for me. We were literally 1-0 down on the 87th minute, and we scored 2 goals in the last 5 to win. This is what you've got to do to win leagues. You can't play boss every single week, and I'm not expecting that, but I do want them to get over the line, and they did it. And now we've got a massive, huge fixture on Wednesday that we have to go in and win.
Have they brought forward that game because of the Carabao Cup final?
Which is mad.
We've got because I think what it is that next week the Champions after this week, the Champions League starts back in it, and it's 2 legs, so they can't play it in that.
Yeah.
So that's why they've had to bring that.
Do you know what? Though? I'm annoyed with it, right? Because we've got 5 games in 15 days, and in March we've only got 1 Premier League game. Like we're going to be playing 3 games in March. Put one of the games. Even Villa wanted to move it. I feel like sometimes
Ain't
the
there gonna be
league.
Champions League in March if you get.
Yeah, there will be, but still, there's more space in that month to move.
I think
the
there's
game
an FA Cup weekend.
And we're not in the FA Cup either.
I think there's never a Premier League game played on the FA Cup weekend, is there?
You can go to Dubai, man.
But honestly, I celebrated that win like it was a Champions League final or something, because I just wanted to see Liverpool get over the line and pass that test after the Everton game. It was so important.
Huge win.
And now we're going to Villa, right? And I tell you now, Villa haven't beat us in 6 games, lads and ladies. Yeah, we've won the last 4 and drew 2 against.
Easy
win. Different now, Doyle.
I know it's different.
It's
easy
different
win.
now, Doyle.
Rashford,
he's
I'm not
there,
saying,
and he hates
there's
Liverpool.
no way.
And he will be ready.
There's no way.
Will be ready.
He wasn't ready for Man United, was he, lad? He wasn't ready to do it for his actual hometown.
Exactly, so he's not there anymore. That's what I'm saying. He's broken free of the environment.
Freedom.
And we know what happens when they break free.
Even Anthony's having fun.
Even Anthony's having fun. So that shows you Villa, and we all saw when he came off the bench against Ipswich.
Yeah,
Rashi's doing his thing. So rise against.
There's players in Villa that I'm terrified about. We've got Morgan Rogers, and then you've got Ollie Watkins, right? They both got a combined of like 20-something goals and 20-something assists together. Fantastic players. You've got Emi Martinez. But this is different now. Liverpool are going for the title. We have to win this game. And I do believe the motivation to try and get... So, what was it? They got 4 points right close to us, right? You won that game against Leicester. Everyone's made up at Arsenal. We're like, we're going to do this again now. We're 4 points off them.
No, we
and then
weren't saying
Liverpool,
that.
some players...
We knew you had Wolves.
Some of them were. Yes, same. Joel,
Bayer,
you said we've got to win it. And we did, lads. We did.
Listen. I certainly weren't thinking that. You're playing Wolves.
Let me say it anyway. Right, so we're 4 points.
Leicester.
I'm not going to lie. I was worried a little bit, right? You're 4 points close to us now. I'm scared, mate. We're not playing well in this Wolves game. We have to get across the line. But now we can go 4 days and gain 6 points, going to 10 points ahead of Arsenal, which again...
before they
even play again. And do you know what that'll do for the Liverpool morale? It's huge going into the City game on the weekend, and it's a massive blow to Arsenal again if we manage to do that.
What if you went there?
If they do, Robbie?
What? No.
You're 10 points behind with no striker.
No, that's very true.
Mikel going to save you then?
That's
Marino, I mean.
That's very true. But then also you could say, what if you went there and dropped points?
Yeah.
But what if
right?
they don't?
And then we went.
But what if they don't?
Went and what?
But
No,
what if
he
they
just
don't?
said if they don't.
What if they don't?
What are you piping up for?
We
You know,
wanted
one
your
little win where you get right.
We wanted your answer.
Big
on that.
people
What
are
if
talking.
they don't?
It's a big people argument now. You know what I mean? Where you coming into this? Behave yourself, right? Now listen, right? Yeah.
You just Nicholas Jackson.
What the hell is that straight?
What I'm saying?
Wrong group chat, isn't it?
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
The mud chat.
Don't bring me into
If you did
just
drop
don't-
points, what would it be if you did drop points, say, and then we won at the weekend, we'd be within 4 points,
Yeah.
and then you got City.
Yep. We
So
need to win.
you know what I mean. So I think it is I think the next 2 games, I kind of look at it for you. Win those 2.
3. You know what we've got after City?
You got Newcastle.
Newcastle, Villa, Man City, and Newcastle.
But I think
horrible
the
games.
next 2 in particular, the vital ones.
I'm sick of this.
They're
right?
both away, innit?
Going for
They're
the
both away.
title is great. It's so wonderful that we're in this position, yeah. But you know the anxiety that I have watching Liverpool every single week? I'm sick to death. I'm looking at a row of fixtures and going, if we just get through this, if we just make this, then maybe. But one thing that's giving me hope, genuinely, I'm not trying to diss Arsenal, I'm really not, is the fact that you don't have strikers.
We got Mikel Marino, man. Don't worry about that.
You're going to drop points.
Like out of those next 3 fixtures, how many points do you reckon?
I think Liverpool are going to get 7 points from their next 3 fixtures. I think that we can beat Villa. We have their number. We usually are their weak team. Touch wood.
We don't
we
go
do.
too early.
We
They
win.
didn't even beat 10-man Ipswich.
Honestly, we've been lucky.
They haven't been great.
But and they're also dipping in form right now.
defensive pool.
They've won 3
defensively.
games.
Yeah.
They've won 3 of their games in the last 10.
Yeah.
Not in the Premier League, all games, right? That's terrible form. It's not good form. And then going into a... What was the question you asked me? Sorry.
How many points?
7 points.
sorry.
And then we've got City.
Nerves are
Yeah,
catching
I
me,
am.
bro.
I'm scared. And then we've got City where you've seen them, right? Mamou scored the hat-trick in 30 minutes against Newcastle and they won 4-0. And I say, oh, great. You're trying to find a bit of form now as soon as we're going to play, yeah, boss. Yeah. And I do think that'll probably be a draw. That's my logical mind thinking it'll be a 1-1, 2-2, good draw, Man City Liverpool game, and all good on you, you back. But the Newcastle game going into Anfield, we seem to have their number as well. So I think 7 points is reasonable, and I'm okay with that. I need to go into the international break with that 7-point gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be looking down.
Some super chat said, Drago says, Matisse is Jackson still in the ESAC conversation. Everyone's remembering this now. They don't forget nothing, man. Sarah says, also, rest in peace, Chelsea, 1905 to 2025. Never a better example of the highs and lows of the game. A lock for the 25 club ever. A lot for the 25 club. Frankie Fasthand says, not one attempt on goal to Wolves 10 in the second half. I know Doyle is doing the Champions win stuff, but it felt different. Next 3 games are massive.
Huge.
And Francesco said, I need to know, was KG in the opening scene of The Capture on Netflix?
He's in a few of the scenes. He's the control man. Just like giving out the orders with the other lady in the control room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wicked program, The Capture.
Yeah, The Capture was good.
Watch it.
The Capture was good. That is him, in the control room. And PMP says Robbie X didn't back down from the bet when Solanke got injured. You all didn't lay down specifics, so loser should pay. Big up the best. I ain't paying that bet, right? Because I'm telling you, the man's out injured for the rest of the season, right? Simple.
Has he got more goals than him now? Because say Solanke comes back and still
Robbie, I'll take that bet.
He still don't get more than Havertz, who's out for the rest of the season. You're probably asking for the money.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I wouldn't.
Havertz, I think, was on 9 and Solanke is on 7, but Solanke's also been out for time.
Yeah.
Solanke's been out for about 3 weeks.
Yeah, time.
He's out for the whole season. Anyway, let's get to our game because obviously, no Havertz, right? And up stepped Mikel Merino.
I always hate watching that
right?
game.
I mean, listen, I was at the game, right? The first half of that game was shocking from Arsenal. I was like, you know what? They're still in Dubai. They're still on the beach. Did nothing real. It worked for a lack of effort. Just did nothing. You know what I mean? Leicester, they defended very well. And actually, they had the even though we had all the ball, we had a few chances and that, they had the best chance. They had a chance through Ndidi, right? And then in the second half, we picked it up. Definitely picked it up. And the one shining light throughout the game, even in the first half, actually,
young man,
was Ethan Nwaneri.
Wow.
This kid is so good. I mean, we were saying earlier, Matisse, innit, that Saka must be sitting there thinking, hey, hold on a minute.
Get me back, lad.
I need to hurry up and get back because this kid is like, honestly, he's so good, man. Like, so confident, great temperament. A lot of the things what you were saying about Jadon Sancho is the opposite to him in that he's got the same sort of talent like Sancho, but he's playing like a senior player. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the thing. Sancho at that age was exactly the same.
And when I compared him, there was a player on the pitch, right? That honestly, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a game and there's a player playing in your team and you're like, please, for his own mental health and before the fans really start. Sterling, that's an absolute shocker, man. Like, I mean,
I like that.
It was horrendous. Like, there's one time when he got past a couple of players, got into the box, and just fell over.
Yeah, and it just get tackled,
and he just get tackled, lose the ball.
It's confidence.
And then you know when you're there, right, and you're looking around you, right, and you're just seeing fans just starting to. It's building up. I was there when the Boué got booed that time by Arsenal fans, right. You see it's building up, and you're like, Mikel.
You need them to do something.
You need to take this guy off, man. Yeah. It's shocking, right?
But who? Bring on who? Because
you only got 3 balls. I'm gonna tell you what happened. But just for
feed him up nicely,
yes.
Bigging up.
Stop encouraging them, man.
But who will save Arsenal in their time of need?
Bigging up Nwaneri. He played really well. But another kid I'm gonna big up is again Lewis Skelly.
Yeah.
Right, because he made a vital tackle. Right, that's a tap in.
Yeah,
and that tackle was as big as a goal, honestly, because that would have put Leicester 1-0 up.
He's so good at that. He did that at City as well.
This guy's keeping Calafiori and Zinchenko out the team.
You don't need them,
right?
Zinchenko.
You don't need them.
Zinchenko.
Zini does not need to be.
Can I ask you a question, Robbie?
No,
is this bad planning?
Listen,
is this bad from Arsenal?
I'm putting respect still on Zinchenko, right? Because that guy helped to transform Arsenal. When him and Jesus came in, right? They changed Arsenal. They changed the mentality.
Fair enough.
They changed everything. So, all right, he's not at his best no more.
They did their little bit.
Defending, but they did their bit to change around this team. But
a couple of years now, you man are like, we're better than that already.
But this kid, Lewis Skelly, absolutely brilliant. But
he's so good.
We're still there thinking, where's a goal going to come from, man? Because nothing apart from Nwaneri. But then the manager, He moved Trossard over to the left. He was totally ineffective down the middle, which he's way better there. And brought on Marino. Right, we're thinking, all right, what are you going to do? Turned up, man. 2 big goals.
In 20 minutes.
First one, great header, right?
Cross.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant cross. And a great, terrible defending. Maybe the Tottenham players, right? And then a great header by him. And then the second one, another great finish. Finish like a striker, both of them. I'm not saying he's the answer. Before anyone say, yeah, we jump with banter and stuff like that.
He's the saviour.
He's
not the answer.
I mean, when I hear what you were saying earlier, this is why you got to give credit to Arteta, right?
Yeah,
and
100%
to the player.
for that one.
Well, I hear what you were saying earlier with with Jackson being out and nobody there to think. He sort of found for this game. I don't know for future games. It's only the first game. We're gonna have to wait and see. But for this game, those were accomplished finishes, man.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, I seen Havertz, right, those come off his arm. Remember that game the other day where he had the easy header back? It was against you, I think.
The Newcastle header.
A Newcastle, about 2 yards out, and it come off his shoulder.
What are we saying? Marino is better striker than Havertz?
100%.
No, I'm not saying that at all. But listen,
we have to wait till you play against better opposition.
Because of
we've
been talking a lot about owners, right? And these owners sold the whole club short by not going out and getting a striker in January, and now this is what we got. So we need Marino. We're praying that he can do this again, right? On many occasions, we don't know because he came on. It was a cameo. We don't know if he's going to be able to do it from the start of games. We don't, but certainly I think against West Ham this week, he's got to start.
Has to.
Yeah, up front.
No debate.
And
Sterling can't start.
Trossard
go
on
to
that
the
left-hand side,
Yeah.
much more
Marino
effective.
down the
Putting
middle.
a brilliant cross for that second goal, and those were vital 3 points. I thought Leicester played well. I mean, I was chatting to a couple of their fans after the game. They said that's the best we've seen.
Yeah, they actually played all right. It's not like they're giving up for Rude and there's nothing in it.
Yeah,
I was hate watching it, and I watched the first goal and I was like, nah, Leicester can still score.
Yeah.
And I literally texted me mate going, nah, 1-1 boys, 1-1 boys. And I literally looked up from my phone and Marino scored the second. I went, it's
Great finish, the second goal.
Can I ask a question about Arsenal just in general? Because they've come across Miles Lewis-Skelly now. Look how brilliant he is. And you're saying Calafiori been out injured, but also can't get kicked. Lewis-Skelly.
No, to be fair though, it's Calafiori. When he came on, and he helped to create that. He helped to create. He scored goals, and he helped to create that goal as well. 100%. So he was good as well.
So he's been good. Ethan Nwaneri, of course, came infamously off the bench against Brentford, 15 years of age.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So there's something there. So if you look at the overall planning, then do you think that they've been lucky to stumble across Lewis-Skelly, or was that always the plan? Because if it was, why did you go and spend money on like another left back, another defender, when again, like you said, it goes back to the striker thing where you didn't have to be in this position. If you know you got Lewis-Skelly there and you're going, he's cool. We got Ethan Nwaneri coming in there. Let's spend the money, not in defence.
I think both of those players were sort of destined for the first team this season to play a part.
But not this quick.
And more Nwaneri than Lewis-Skelly.
Yeah.
Lewis-Skelly,
he wasn't really supposed to break through this year,
Lewis-Skelly, not even a left back. Remember that. That was an emergency sort of thing because we had nobody really to play in that position. And then he's come in and he seized his chance. And, you know, I was looking at a game yesterday and because with you guys, I was looking at Cheeto, right? And he's gone to United. And I was thinking, when he went to United, because I know they were really trying to let him stay. And apparently a lot of the rumours are he went for, they got offered a lot more money to go there. And I'm just like, if you would have stayed, I think now, you know, especially with our cry, you would have got that opportunity. And I think you're more likely in a team that's sort of
stable
to get your chance than at a United. Because United, what they'll do, they'll still go and buy in the summer in that position. They're gonna look on that and they're gonna say, we need a top striker, right? Because whereas somebody like
you're gonna do that too.
I know, but I'm saying somebody like Ethan Nwaneri, for instance, I think now they won't go and buy another. Remember, Sterling was brought in to be the cover for Saka.
That'll be it.
I think Nwaneri will be the guy now. They'll say, "No, that's you now. You can
cover.
Which
cover?
Cover for
I'm
what?
trying to see this brother start.
Which cover?
The guy's looking good.
You need to find a way to put him on the left.
It will be the left.
This is where you start getting into periods,
I didn't see him on the
I'm not
right,
saying this is going to happen. I'm not trying to gaslight him.
do with Saka?
I'm just saying this is where you get into things where, like, say a massive offer came in for Saka from like Real Madrid.
No, you can't do that.
No, I'm not saying do it.
Can't do that.
I'm not saying
can't do that.
I'm not saying
you can't do that, Flex.
But I'm saying this is how things change in football clubs really quickly, where like big money might come. Let's fast forward 18 months.
Saliba will be in Real Madrid.
Do you know what I mean? Let's fast forward 18 months. And then a bid comes in for, I don't know, Calafiori or whatever, or a bid comes in for Saka. You should not sell Saka. You should stay his whole career at Arsenal. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But sometimes you go, 100 million, he's all right already. 100 million for this squad. It changes the perception.
But that's
of
what.
your squad.
It's like Conor Bradley with Trent.
Exactly.
That should be the
now
last.
You're saying if we lose Trent, okay, well. But the last thing
we should be doing is that we should be building upon
100%
what we've got, and that kid's definitely going to be.
I think there's a point to be made that Odegaard should be playing the left 8, right? Because it's been a pretty messy position this season, and Wanyeri should be playing in the right 8, so he can still cut in, and him and Saka can kind of like double team on that right hand side.
Is the midfield strong enough though if they do that?
I was about to say that.
Okay, maybe I think Odegaard works his arse off, you know. Odegaard does work his arse off. He gets up and down. Like, if anything, I see Odegaard dropping so deep sometimes next to Rice or whoever it is. They're going to get rid of Partey this summer, right? The Zubimendi deal, I don't know what's going on there. But I've seen Odegaard, he works hard.
Very attack heavy though.
It is, but
like that.
with the 4 centre-backs across the back 4,
It's too late.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
true.
compensating that.
True.
You know, Lewis Kelly inverts. I don't know, into midfield.
This is real life Pep.
Hey,
You are Pepe.
Still pains me though, right? That we didn't go out and get that. We didn't go out and get that striker in January. Right? I hope that Mourinho can keep this up. But it still pains me. It still makes me angry when you think about it because, you know, like you said, you know, for 24 hours we're 4 points behind Liverpool, and we saw the pressure that put on Liverpool.
Massive.
And it is at this stage. You guys are in the driving seat. It's all about pressure. If we can put pressure on, and I think we saw that over the weekend that we did apply a bit of pressure.
Definitely.
And Liverpool, you know, you
Felt it.
responded to the pressure, but you felt the pressure. So, yeah, it was a good win in the end. I think it was a good win, especially in the fact that it was Mourinho that got the 2 goals, because that kind of dampened down a bit of
perfect for
the.
you.
He almost said, choose me. No, it's me that's going to help.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Because it was getting into that squeaky bum territory as well. 80-odd minute. You're going,
I was
me.
willing it. I was
Trust me,
willing
bro.
it on. I was
You lot
like,
must be thinking,
Trust
boy,
me, listen, that game, right, was getting
how we draw this.
That game was getting set up right, 12:30 kickoff, freezing cold, right, wet.
I was thinking about today as well, me. Like,
Poor first half.
Yeah,
I was like,
ready.
I was like, this got all the hallmarks of a typical. Right, we're gonna mess this up, man. But yeah, Mourinho came through.
Fair play
I
to
get
him.
into. All right, calm down. About what? Sergey says Liverpool look knackered.
We do. I agree.
Said. You got lots in reserve. Cheese McKee says thoughts on Luka, Anthony Davis trade.
The Mavs went LA Lakers, isn't it? It's basketball, but.
That trade. Yeah. We spoke about that the other day. Stephen Islands' grandmother says, Robbie, even John Gotti got paid his debts. Well, you're not going to make me an offer I can't refuse that. Right? They're going to come rolling up on me. Gargamel says, is there an argument to be had that Chelsea have simply returned to their natural level?
Yes.
Pre-Romans 2003 cash injection.
Argument.
Back to one title every 55 years.
Yes.
And Sergey says, is right. 0 as Odegaard as a left 8, Palmer as a number 10. He's saying.
What?
What are you saying? We should go and get Palmer.
Yeah.
Let me go through some of the other results that took place this weekend. Some real surprises in there. Manchester City beating Newcastle by 4 goals.
None of us
No,
had that.
yeah, we all said
Yeah.
None of us had
And
that.
Marmoush,
Absolutely
everyone was
slapped
focusing
them
in on
too.
Isak. It was Marmoush who stole us the
very good.
scene with a hat trick.
Newcastle
Another
were
Egyptian.
terrible.
That's another player that Arsenal could have got. He's
Newcastle
a
sometimes
noise.
can overexert
Midfield, we look at
themselves.
them.
Get licked sometimes.
Yeah, but
Very
Marmoush,
good.
I'm surprised Liverpool as well
Trippier
with the
was all over
Egyptian
there.
connection didn't
Would have
try.
been great.
But Marmoush looking good since he's come in. I think even though he hasn't scored, he's been looking good.
They looked
And
good the other day.
very impressive win for Man City. They're back in the top 4, and especially coming off the back of them losing against Real Madrid. And they got the second leg against Real Madrid. That was a real morale boosting win for them.
This week?
Great.
Wednesday
That's
night.
great.
We've got
That's all-
Wednesday night, we've got Liverpool Villa.
Yeah.
At Villa Liverpool and
And the second leg of
Madrid
that.
City,
Yeah.
yeah.
I tell you what was a real shock for
Double
me.
screenage.
A real shock this weekend. Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Is it now that Forest have become the hunted by teams?
Yes.
They're no longer looking
Yeah.
at Forest and thinking,
Yeah, and I think it was inevitable that they're not going to keep winning at that rate. Listen, it hasn't been a mad drop-off where all of a sudden they ain't won a game in 8. It's not that.
No, but
You know,
that's
they
it.
took
It's-
licks against Bournemouth and
They
then
slapped
bounced
up
back
Brighton.
7-0 and slapped up Brighton. So they've proved that actually when they've had a little bit of a blip, they just bounce back, they lock in again. But that's a good saying that I think they've become the hunted. Everyone's
mentality,
proper
lad.
up for it. And that's what I'm saying. When you get to the latter games, that's why people are saying the Forest will definitely make top 4. They're going to do. When it gets to like there's 10
Crunch
games
time.
left,
Pressure as well.
and City are chasing you, Newcastle are there, Chelsea are
You're not
about to
playing
play,
freely.
and everyone wants to play
Yeah.
against you now. They go, right, this is a scout now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
different.
Have you ever
But-
played with pressure before? Right, believe me,
No.
I've played lots of football, and I'm a creative footballer. I like to pass through the lines. Sometimes you will second guess yourself. I'm not going to make that pass that I usually would, which would set up a goal.
In case I give it away.
Yeah,
No, I
it's
think-
things like that play
I
into
think
it.
they're also obviously where they've got one game a week. I still think that they. Who knows if they
This
can
is
finish in
right,
top
though,
4.
yeah,
But
it
like
is.
they, as obviously the season gets more into crunch time, like you'll see whether or not it's sustainable. But I also think can't really take anything off of Fulham as well, because Fulham are also trying to
Good side
get a
as well, yeah.
European finish.
Yeah.
Like
been
and
good this year.
yeah, they've been
Smith Rowe with a
good.
goal there.
They've been good.
Bournemouth as well, another team that's been really good. They went away 3-1 Southampton.
That was routine. Yeah.
easy,
Routine.
easy.
They are
Everton. Everton again, another
David
victory
Moyes.
away at
Which
Crystal
have Moyes-
They
Palace.
shouldn't even.
It's
No,
not
It's not
no,
an
no,
easy
no.
place to go to.
They shouldn't even have won that game as
And
well.
what club
Crystal
has he
Palace
gone
had
above?
enough chances.
West Ham. That's the
Mad.
club he's gone above.
Boss.
David Moyes.
David Moyes belongs to Everton,
But
and
Man
Everton
United now.
belongs to David Moyes, lad. That is forever
He's
a thing.
absolutely galvanised them, and like you're saying, with limited, didn't change anything in terms of players. Beto's scoring
Going
goals.
to Alcaraz and he's scored and assisted.
He's done well. Like
Hate it.
Beto's a different
hate it.
player.
just getting through to the mental of the
Everton
players.
are
They're all
we?
just working
Everton are
hard.
we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
but
play to them.
listen, he's getting the best out.
He
of
is. It's fantastic to see, but I hate it because
And I think Everton will actually buy into what he wants
Yeah.
instead of going against the grain or trying to be this tippy-tappy team. Like they know
Yeah.
what David Moyes thrives with. They know what he needs. They'll buy it for him. Whereas
been
West
there for a
Ham,
short time.
West
He's
Ham
some
wants it to
decent
be
football
something
though. It's
else.
not just like
No,
Yeah,
yeah, I
those
know.
go long.
But what I'm saying is like West Ham, they have a West Ham
Yeah,
way.
the West Ham
so it was
way.
never maybe aligned as much as
he is Mr.
would
Everton,
be.
lad. He belongs
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah.
Okay, Aston Villa 1, Ipswich 1. Ipswich down to 10 men for a lot of this game. Went 1-0 up.
Yep.
Villa equalised, and then they absolutely, I've got to say, the goalkeeper in that
Yeah,
game.
it's mad.
he
Villa
made
should
some-
have won
that
that
one?
game.
He made some
Yeah,
saves.
yeah.
Did you see that save? Yeah, that one at the
Insane,
end.
insane.
I
Right,
mean,
and
some
then,
of the saves he made were unbelievable. Villa dropping points again. They'd be really disappointed with that. But 1-1 draw against Ipswich and West Ham. This was a bit of a surprise to me. Losing at home to Brentford. Graham Potter thought it's been a little bit of a
been a
bounce,
mixed bag
yeah,
for him,
mixed
innit?
bag. Losing 1-0 and I didn't watch the game, but apparently they were very poor as well.
Yeah, Brentford
so-
had bare chances
Yeah.
and disallowed goals.
So as it stands,
It was a lovely goal that got disallowed
Yeah.
as well. It was so nice.
Tiki taka.
It was
Yeah,
actually-
yeah, there was. It was.
It was my favourite goal of Saturday,
Yeah,
and
it
I was
was.
actually very upset it got ruled out.
Right, well, looking at the bottom three, still Southampton rock bottom on 9 points. Leicester stays second from bottom on 17, and Ipswich, despite that point, they remain in 18th on 17 points. Just above them is Wolves United.
Yeah. Then it's us.
Wolves on 19 points. It isn't actually you guys just above it. It's West Ham. West Ham in 16th place on 27 points. In 15th place, Manchester United on 29.
Oh my.
Moving above them is Everton.
Hold on, where are we?
Everton move above. Taking a look at the
Next.
at the top of the table.
You missed.
All that in between bit doesn't matter, you know what I mean?
Carry on. I was
In
waiting for my
12th place is
moment.
Tottenham on 30
Thank
points.
you.
What are you smiling about? You're 12.
12th.
We've moved up, not down. We're up.
Fair play.
We've moved
Fair
up
play.
to 12th.
This is
You gotta
crazy.
find your joy
Historic
somewhere.
moment.
mate. You gotta find your
Let me
joy
do it.
somewhere.
When we went above you for a
We've
little
moved
bit, you
up.
weren't saying
You
that.
weren't here.
And the funny
We've
thing is,
moved
she
up.
knows they're going to lose more
We
games.
have moved up.
Like, that performance wasn't good.
We've
The
moved.
substitutions from Ange
Gotta
weren't
enjoy
good.
something,
something,
like
like,
that.
you
Gotta
gotta
enjoy
enjoy
something.
something.
Moving on.
What is she smiling about? I don't understand.
We've moved up.
But you're going back down,
Not down.
again.
We've moved up.
Who are you playing next?
Ipswich. We've
Yeah,
moved
you're,
up.
see, you're going to give gifts.
Just give me my
Right.
moment. We've moved up.
Top of the table is Liverpool on
Fantastic.
60 points. In second place, Arsenal 53, 7 points behind.
Nice.
In third place, Nottingham Forest on 47 points. Into fourth is Manchester City on 44 points. Fifth place, Bournemouth on 43. In sixth place, Chelsea also on 43 points, but got worse goal difference. And in seventh place, 2 points behind them, Newcastle on 41 points. And then moving up the table with that win is Fulham. They're into eighth place on 39. Villa are only on ninth place now on 38. Brighton on 37 points in 10th. So, a lot of teams there can still get European places. Sausage of the week. It's take a look at this week's sausage of the week. Doyle, 4%.
That's right.
How are you even in that?
I don't even know why you're in that.
Right? I wasn't in it either. How comes KG's in it?
Because he is a sausage.
He's
just a sausage.
KG, 25%. Flex, 31%.
Ooh, it's close.
But this is a surprise.
It's tight.
The person who got sausage of the week, Matisse, on 39%. I thought you
surprising.
might have got it.
Nah, no, that demolishment of what happened with Brighton was worse than United losing the thing.
Hold it.
That's
sausage.
worse. That's way worse.
Big sausage.
I thought because it was on Friday, they might have forgot. So.
You and me both. I would have loved that.
He must
come back after a month. Everyone flipping remembered everything.
Sergey says Arsenal will sign Palmer in 18 months, I promise. Joe Dawson says, Abby, how long would you be on holiday for if United ended up knocking Tottenham Hotspuds out of the Europa League?
I mean, because beating us 3 times in the league and just for that to happen.
How long's a piece of string?
Would be crazy.
But might not come back. Like this, right?
Sayer says, by the way, everything is going off in La Liga. I saw that where Real Madrid threatening to leave La Liga because of the referees' decisions.
They're
that
not playing in that World Cup thing, and then the 2-2s and tease them nice. And
can the way the football just gang up against them and just tell them to shut up? Yeah, we know you're dead good. We know you've been the kings of European football. And you've got all Brazilian players and all that.
You lot hate
shut up, though. Just shut up, innit?
Doyle, is that
you do me head in? You can't beat us.
You know, you lot say you're the kings of Europe and all that, but
no, we're the princes of Europe. They're the kings of Europe, but we're still fantastic. Still better than all of you.
The second most Champions League wins?
No, I think it's
AC Milan. So you're not the princes.
We're third.
So how can you be the? So are AC Milan not the prince?
You're only allowed to have one son. Can't you have 2 sons?
Fair.
So, Doyle, let's see.
They hate me.
They rattle the soul.
And they're going to hate them even more when Trent was there.
When they see Trent,
When they see
in
Alexander
all white.
Arnold.
When I see Raul, every time I see him, like, you okay, lad?
So I'll assume with all that hate, you'll be wanting Man City to beat them during the week.
Nah, that's like I don't want any of it again. But yeah, I want Real Madrid to win just to knock some confidence out of Man City. To be quite honest with you, just to let them know that you're still crap. Okay, not fighting with the best no more. Get down.
And Nathaniel says, big up Doyle. Met him outside Anfield after we played Watford, and he was a legend. YNWA.
Thank you.
Robbie met. Pardon. I'm not going to read that last bit about Bonnie Blue. Nasmal says the 4% for Doyle was voted for by Abby, Flex and Robbie. AJ Willer says Real Madrid are saltier than my fish and chips. They're getting a lot of stick for that, and Bellingham got sent off, didn't he? For
it's not very classy.
The ref.
It's like they're supposed to be a classy club, right? We're the Imperials, and you're just not. So chill out and just go and win the league.
Intima says, hi DR Sports, great show as always. I've always wanted to ask, who do you think are the cup clubs in the past and now? Is being a cup club all that bad?
It depends on the stature of your
Liverpool
club.
have definitely been a cup club for a long time. That's why we didn't win the Premier League for 30 years, but we won every other cup. I would say that. But now we're a formidable force.
We are now.
Yeah.
We're a cup team.
Wish we were.
You wish you was.
That's Tottenham.
Tottenham were for periods in like 80s, 90s. We were, but we haven't been for a long
I've got
time.
a stat about this actually. So we're talking about trophies, right? I had a funny meme that I seen, and it said, Domino's have sold 78,427,309. I can't even read that number. It's that big since Tottenham have won a trophy. Specsavers, and this is a number that is unfathomable. It's literally got 15 zeros behind the first 2 numbers. Is that a Googleplex number? I don't know. But they've literally got 43 billion so glasses sold before Tottenham have won a trophy. And I'm so sorry you're having a bad day, but honestly, just had to tell you that.
Grow up then, man.
No, she's having a good day.
Yeah.
And you're trying to ruin her good day.
And the show?
Yeah.
So now more Tottenham one.
Well, I'll give you one. I'll give you one. 1-0.
Let's give you a stat from yesterday. 1-0.
Hold that. Shut your mouth. Hold that. 8 goals
Just as quick as I'm going up the M1.
Goals scored against you this season.
Maddison and shout out Luke Littler and all of them.
Who's gonna? All right. Who's going to finish higher?
Yeah, I would like to know this.
Spurs.
You look willing to put a little something on
Do
that?
you know KG and I have made a bet on another platform? We were forced into. Well, I say we were forced. KG did it and then automatically.
So you think you finish higher? I mean,
we've got to do forfeits.
Who do we think as the teams
We'll
are
Spurs
above
will
them?
finish higher.
Yeah, okay, fair play.
We'll
You
make that
submitted
bet.
already.
No, I don't.
You're only a point above you.
Doesn't matter.
I think the same.
Pussy.
We'll win something and you won't.
Could Amorim possibly get sacked?
No.
My word.
Because I don't have enough money to even.
If he had a horrendous time between now and the end of the season.
He's having a horrendous time now.
No. That's what I mean. If this continues.
No.
If this continues.
We won't go into the bottom 3.
Yeah.
So 16th, 17th, 15th, it's the same.
It's the same
shit.
But do you think they could look on it and think to themselves,
They can't. If they look,
Rumblings start to go, yo.
That's a damn.
That's money to do it.
Robbie.
I'm giving you this scenario, right? It comes to the end of the season.
I don't know how you.
Listen to hear me out.
They hired him.
It comes to the end of the season, they have a board meeting, they say, yo, right, we're going to pay out a load of money for signings this summer.
If you are having that conversation, then you should never have hired him.
I'll be like Matisse. They should
also leave, yes.
Ineos get out.
You can't be having that conversation. This is the first time you're about to give him money. They haven't given him any money yet. You can't make that decision before you give him money. If you're making that decision before you give him money,
even if they wanted to, where's the peas coming from?
Exactly. Where's the money?
No money.
Honestly, he's the one that should be thinking of walking. 100%. Why are we talking about?
That's the question you should ask.
Why are we talking about? If they sack him, he should be thinking, what have I done with my management career?
I agree.
I should walk because they're gonna ruin my reputation. As we're having this conversation right now,
one thing though,
should have stayed at Sporting and moved next summer.
Because he wanted to come in the summer.
Yeah, well, he's made a dumb decision. Because you're saying there might not be no money.
Yeah, 100%. But also, I think he would have been aware of like those stipulations. He wouldn't have been aware how bad it was, but he also would have been aware that I know this is going to be really bad. But now he's looking around going, oh my God.
Yeah, he's shocked.
Didn't think it would be this bad.
He was asked about Ange and the pressure that's on Ange and if it's similar, and he literally said, no, it's not. I work for a bigger club and the pressures on me are much different. And that's telling you, it's getting to him now.
They're still happy, Ange is there, it's all happy, it's great. We're like, no, we need to win stuff, big stuff.
Well,
happy.
that quote went well because Ange slapped him up again. Try and just beat him first.
Mr. Celtic 12 says, Mr. Big Robbie talking down leagues. Arsenal fans shouldn't be doing talking. Big Champions League winners. Portugal has 2 bigger teams, and so is Celtic. Okay, but I'm just saying, if you compare that league to, not dissing those teams at all, not even dissing any team in that league, just making a point that it's a different league.
It's the quality gap. It's just the quality gap. That's what we're talking about.
And also, final one here from Gamizi says, Doyle rattled by Real Madrid.
Honestly,
justice for Karius.
Properly rattled by Real Madrid. You have no idea how painful it is to watch your team lose 2 Champions Leagues to the same team that you were better than and you won. Like, you should have won them.
That applies to the Prem with City.
Yes. Honestly, pain, trauma, all of it.
Anyway, listen, I want to thank you all today. Thank you to you, Matisse, to you, Doyle. Is this your... No,
I'm back on Thursday. Do you know what's annoying? I just want to say this. We won. I'm actually on a show where we won. Great. And I know I've got another one.
The first 2 games you won.
Honestly, this has been pressure moments for me, right? Because every single show that I've done, we've played the day before.
When's that game?
Wednesday. So on Thursday, I might be getting cooked on Thursday. Where's
that picture?
I want to win.
Bring the picture back. I swear AGT tried to hide that picture.
He actually sabotaged it.
He has.
And now when he gets back, he's going to be looking for it himself. So
don't worry, we'll get new pictures.
What the hell is a Brighton top doing in here?
Did you not see
2 of them
the whole time?
It's another one there.
Literally round the other side.
That's not even part of the decor. You man have literally... that is crazy.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry. Don't worry about a thing. Woke up this morning. On the rising sun. 3 little birds on my doorstep. This is a message to you. Thanks to you, Matisse. Thanks, Doyle. Thanks to Abby. And thanks to Flex. And thanks to you guys, most importantly. Don't forget you can become a member here and have access to some exclusive content as well. So if you're not already a member, what are you waiting for? And of course, subscribe here to DR Sports. We'll be back on Thursday with a weekend preview. Thanks for watching.
I've never seen Robbie so angry.
As we say in Jamaica, I'm betting a sinner.
I don't want to wind the situation up by talking even more. And I don't want you winding him up when he gets there.
It's cold, it's wet.
AFTV not on our way to Leicester.